Wild Economy Masterclass was a thought that came around how we could use the wonderful stage that we have here as a classroom.
The partnership between andBeyond and African Leadership University, a very exciting one. andBeyond has always been a leader in terms of doing things differently and looking at sustainability and different options. African Leadership University is about developing young entrepreneurial ethical leaders for Africa, and also very much about learning by doing and interactive discussions.
African Leadership University released their State of the Wildlife Economy paper sort of mid-COVID, and we always knew that tourism was a big tool in terms of conserving the Earth's wild places by providing economic benefits. But we found in COVID that we were all affected, and so when that paper was released, it gave an opportunity for us to have meaningful conversation to learn and understand what is needed to create resilience for wildlife and to protect the world's biodiversity.
So the Wild Economy Masterclass has really focused on what we call the big 5 wildlife economy activities, which are ecotourism, hunting, wildlife ranching, the carbon market and forest products. Look at each of those topics and the different options within those. And we'll also be sort of finishing off with how do you unlock all of this. See how we can build more resilience, how we can diversify activities because of this focus, particularly by governments in Africa, on ecotourism and a very narrow focus. How do we broaden that to ensure greater benefits and more benefit sharing and more multipliers and more value chains so that we combine conservation and development and use it as a key growth opportunity for Africa?
We partnered with African Leadership University to combine what we have to offer, which is hospitality and an interpretive guiding experience of nature, with some really mind-opening learning around other opportunities that exist in these places to conserve them. Our partnership with the Africa Foundation is a core part of our business model. We have had this partnership since 1992. Currently, Africa Foundation works in 73 communities through Africa surrounding our footprint.
So the focus of this week has been to try and bring different stakeholders with different points of view, different perspectives, and bring them into the discussion. And really, I've heard some of the participants talking about how they'd never considered that, never thought about that. And I think that's the exact aim of this, and would be the aim of it in future, is really just to give different perspectives. And this is a whole suite of tools that you can use to build resilience and diversity, and you choose what you want to do.
There's so much hope that I feel has come out of some of these discussions as to the problems we can solve when we collaborate and we think together from different perspectives. We fundamentally believe that it's through collaboration that we are able to make 1 + 1 = 10. So African Leadership University has done such amazing research. They can bring a real objective lens. We can bring a footprint of lodges to give an experience and provide a classroom. And together we can get people asking different questions, and we get that greater outcomes through the partnership.
We need everyone to be engaged and involved. So from government, private sector, communities, NGOs, there's a role for everyone in the wildlife economy. The recent WWF Living Planet report, which showed that biodiversity is declining rapidly, we don't want that for Africa. And so we really need people to work together to create an enabling environment to unlock this wildlife economy, generating revenues, creating employment. It also, which for me is critical, empowers people because you give them a hand up, not a hand out. And I think we need to change this perception of just giving development aid and rather creating an economy that empowers people. What we also focus a lot on is the community engagement in this process. Communities understanding the importance of protected areas and valuing it is going to be critical to the long-term success. And in order to value it and to see the value of it, you have to benefit from it. This Wild Economy Masterclass is a perfect example of thinking outside the box. How do we look at things differently, and try and engage different stakeholders and get different perspectives.
My deep desire, I guess, for the tourism industry is an appreciation that profits can be made through purpose. There is a way of looking at each part of our sort of commercial operation to say, how can we be commercial and decrease our impact or increase our impact when it comes to communities. If we can stop putting those two against each other and start putting those two in the same direction as an industry, I think it's really, really exciting as to what potential we have in the wildlife economy.